Hey, Samridhi, how are you today?
Very well, Kinga. So nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too. Did you have a nice day?
Yes, it's been a nice, relaxing day, and I've been very excited to chat with you today.
Oh, same here. I always love to chat with you. There is always so much smile, laugh, and authenticity as well.
Thank you.
So we are meeting today because we want to share with other women beautiful story, and let's just have a chat. Yes, and I want you to first introduce yourself. Just tell something about you that's important to you.
Sure.
In few words.
Oh, I'll try. Few words is the problem. So I'm Samridhi Purohit. I am a leadership coach, and I work with an organization and look after the L&D. My journey with Kinga has been, I think we'll unfold that as we go in the conversation, but the way it started off, I really wanted to find some missing piece in me and help me connect with people better, and also possibly have some romance in my life. So that's how it all came about. I've moved to Australia 2.5, 3 years ago, and it's very exciting how my life has taken this big spin, and I'm excited to share my story today.
Thanks so much. Yes, Samridhi is in Australia and specifically in Sydney, same like me. Yes.
Yes.
So lovely. Tell us first, like, how did you connect with me, and what was the reason that you wanted to join the program Attract Your Life Partner?
Right. Well,
I know it was a while ago.
It's a very long time ago.
Or it seems like that.
It does, because I think I see that old version of me as someone far away, because I just feel a lot has happened between the time we first met and now. And it still is like it happened in Jan this year. I saw one of your ads on Meetup about the sacred moon meditation. And I was like, wow, this is something really beautiful. I would love to meditate with other women and soak in the moon energy and see what it is about. So I came to the meditation, and it was very beautiful. There you were, like, being so authentic and sharing really from your heart. As beautiful as you are, you were also like so firm about the things you said, the conviction that you had. You got me curious. So I went back and I started researching about the kind of work you do. A few months passed, and I kind of came to a point in my dating life where I was like, I think I need help. I'm kind of figure it all out by myself. Either I really want it to happen, and then I completely ignore that I want it. I'm not finding the right way to approach it, and I feel I need help. And when I saw what you do, I was like, you're the right person. She's going to help me. And that's where I approached you.
Yes, you approached me, I remember. So you already made a decision kind of that you want to work, yes, with me. Yes. You just didn't know what will unfold during that, right?
Yeah, because when you asked me, what do you want? I was like, I don't know. Possibly I'll figure out what I want with you.
Yes, because I remember, and that's quite common. That was also me and, women coming to me, that they are scared of saying loudly what are their biggest dreams, because it's not been happening for a while, so they kind of like suppress, and their standards become low compared to the biggest desires. And I remember that was also you very shy of claiming your desires. Absolutely.
Yeah, in fact, it felt like I put so much effort in coping with not being able to make it happen, that I felt like I was betraying myself if I said I wanted it now. And figure all that out with you.
Why do you think, where is that coming? Where was that coming from, that you would betray yourself if you said, I want it now? What would that mean to you?
Well, I think I had kind of set my image like that with my friends and my world, that, oh, you know what? I don't care. I don't want anybody. I'm really happy by myself. yes, a large part of it was true, and it is still true. But a lot of it was, how will I face them? And more than that, like really at the deepest level, um, I would have never, uh, confessed that it was that, but now I confess it. It was my sense of worthiness. I really didn't feel I was worth it. I could get it. Um, while I'm really confident in a lot of areas of my life, this part was really where I could not fake it. And the truth was, um, I didn't know why I didn't feel like I could get it. So that's from.
Yes, you didn't know how to get it, yeah? So you didn't get like what was happening in your life.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I understand that because I was coming from the same, yes, back before I met my partner. But also women that coming to me, they also say that I don't want to feel desperate, that I need a partner. And I always say it's not about that. It's something way bigger. Why are you not claiming that you deserve it?
Yeah, I remember. I think you did this very unconventional. You made me practice this very unconventional thing of using slang and really letting it out and just claiming it. And I blushed that day when I just had to say fuck yeah. But now I realize it was all coming from, oh my God, like maybe I'll be too desperate, but like really deep down inside, it was like, maybe if I put myself out there, I might get rejected, and maybe I will get rejected. So yeah, exactly. It was really that. And you pinpointed that, you helped me understand that right at the beginning of our journey. And that I think was the massive change that it created in my life, because just after that, I noticed the way I even walked back to the train station, the way I walked to work, like my gait changed. The way I was like, high, like it was from a very shallow space to like a more grounded space. And I was like, wow, it takes me a lot of meditation and sometimes a lot of effort to really get back into my centered space. But now it's getting easier. So that was great for me to even realize that. And it was just such a simple truth I needed to hear.
Yes, the beginning is always like that, claiming your truth, because
Yes.
that's all how it must unfold. That creating that vision. Without that vision, it's so hard for us to manifest, and being so clear and so like ready and committed for that. And it can't come from the space of desperate or like fears. So on the way, we've been unfolding and clearing and healing the fears and doubts and all the blockages as well that show up as an obstacles why it's not happening. So what was for you the biggest breakthrough when it comes to the whole program?
Sorry, Kinga, just a moment. I think I'm having like some disturbance. I just lost your screen.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I can still, yeah, okay.
Something happened. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's okay. Would you like me to repeat?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
Please.
So from the whole program, what was your biggest breakthrough that you realized? Maybe it was one, maybe few, but something that you felt like, oh my gosh, I'm breaking, the shells of my conditioning, of my own, beliefs, my own shells. Whatever it is, please share with us.
Wow, that question is so simple, but it is taking me down so many things that happen. It was every single session I had so much of truth blasting around me that it's I think I'll have to choose the top three. It can't be one. So
that's okay. Let's do that then.
I think my biggest one, or my first one, it wasn't my biggest one. My biggest one came at the end, but it wouldn't have happened if I didn't do the first two.
By the way, your background became so light. I don't know what happened, but you're like full of light at the background. That's good.
One of my monitors switched off, but it added to like the special effects. So that's maybe I'll switch on the light at the
No,
back.
it's perfect what we're talking about. It's perfect. Yeah, I'm just saying it's so spot on to what we're talking about.
Look at the timing of it, like everything else that has happened in the process. So,
Exactly.
well, the first one was definitely finding my authentic worthiness. And it's funny when I think about it, how much just the words, your father loved you and your father was proud of you, those words, they created just the absolute magic for me. As soon as I heard those words, I really feel like literally, even at my cellular level, everything was like blasting with happiness and something really changed. And I didn't even realize I felt unloved for so long. And I had been telling myself. Um, and it was maybe what you were doing. I still don't want to even understand or analyze what you were doing with the process, but how it worked for me was I felt connected and loved from a piece that I felt was not for me anymore, and that was far away. So when you help me reconnect with my worthiness by showing me that I was always loved from the side, from the part that I thought I was ignored, it fixed everything for me. And
Yes.
it was really impacting the way I was interacting with other people. uh, I was uh, I was really going above and beyond, um, with good intention, but I was going above and beyond, putting myself in absolute discomfort. I'd learned to make it slightly comfortable for myself through the years, but I was still putting myself through a lot of discomfort to even do small things, things of small value to other people. So it was really coming from a space that I need to really work hard so that people can like me or people can value of my company. And of course, that was impacting the way I was dating, because either there was an extreme of where I'm being that really sassy person, and then when truly I give away my heart, I was being a person who would do anything, and the other person would not see that I'm valuing myself, so they wouldn't value me either.
Exactly. Yeah, beautiful. I just love seeing that, hearing that. I remember that like it was yesterday when we've been working on that, and that feeling. So like to give more information, especially for those who feel that they have father woundings, yes, and kind of disconnection, different reasons. Sometimes the father can, disconnect from the family, sometimes could die. And if we didn't process that, yes, if we didn't make the peace, the relationship with the opposite sex, or even in the same, but just romantic relationship, won't be possible to be fulfilled and deeply happy and successful, because we are still want to make that peace and we are not able. Therefore, the masculine part inside of us that want to connect with another masculine, it just not working as it's supposed. There is no trust, there is no security. So we feel, and that was also your case of putting yourself out there, but like giving and giving, yes. Because the bottom line is, I'm not worthy of receiving unconditional love just because who I am. Like I need to do something to deserve that love, instead of, no, I deserve it because who I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, you have put all the right words of everything that happened in my process. And I am so sure that there are so many women whose fathers have either left them, or there's a kind of communication gap, even if they love their daughters, that we don't feel like, oh my God, my daddy loves me. And it can be so complex, and it can come out in so many different ways, and we've just put it out so beautifully. I have tried to work on it many times, but it has never really clicked the way it clicked with you. So I probably had to do all of that to just earn understanding my own worthiness. So.
Yes, exactly. And we consciously, logically, we think like, yeah, maybe he loves us, but why he left us? And
Yes.
why? What was the reason? And from these beliefs that we took from our childhood, we are not able to understand it and the dynamic in a mature relationship these days. Yes, when we are adults, we are not able to match like and bring something that is mature. But
Yes.
let's talk about the second one, because I'm really excited and can't wait. Like, what's the second one?
The second one, of course, you'll remember. She has, everyone who's listening, she's got like some photographic or what kind of memory, I can't name it, but she will remember everything you ever tell her. So, and even the things that you have forgotten. So anyway, I think the other one was to understand that my everything that I was doing and the confidence that I got was really from my head and my mental energy. And yet, every time I would do something, I would achieve things, I would go out in the world and I would use my mind to show my magic in the world, it wouldn't fulfill my heart. And the reason was that, and what we got to find together through our work was, through working with you, was I was not listening to my heart, or even if I was, there was a very difficult connection between the head and heart. In fact, in some weird way, it was even, I thought my head was my heart was my head.
Yes, exactly. I remember this.
Yes.
And that's quite normal. That's quite not normal, but quite common these days, that people believe that, no, I operate from my heart, while it's completely closed.
Yes, yes, exactly. And what it was doing for me was, let's say, especially in a dating situation, but it had multi benefits. It had benefits at work, it had benefits in my family, and my interactions with my friends, my close circle. But let's talk about romantic, because that's why I had approached in the first place. What I saw was, every time something didn't work out, I would mentally solve it. So I would think of all the things that I should have done, analyze it, overanalyze it, master analyze it. I should have had a doctorate in overanalyzing.
You could have that, yeah, in the past.
And now I've kind of resigned from that and taken the throne of my heart. So now it's very different, because when I was with my head, nothing would feel good, nothing would feel fulfilling, even though I put all my effort in it. And I'm thinking it's my heart. And when I started connecting with my heart, if I went on a date and I didn't feel good, I would talk about it, I would say it, and not in a way the head says. When my head would say something, it would come up in anger, it would come up through ego, it would come up with so many things. But when I would say it with my heart, it would come up as my authentic, vulnerable self, who was not scared, who just was free and who wanted to share and say what is in my heart. And I cannot tell you what beauty it uncovered in me. Like literally, I felt like, I feel I'm a more beautiful person because I now listen to my heart and I feel good. And I feel like when I am connecting with people, there's a lot of beauty in our interactions. I feel like there's true connection. People find joy in connecting with me. I find joy in connecting, and I feel the fulfillment. And I had been searching for this all my life in every aspect. And I know that as long as I'm living, I will keep finding more ways to find that. But at least now I know where that should come from. Because every time I said something to you, you would say, no. Go back to the feeling and tell me what you feel about it. You that. And it was so hard after a while, to be honest with you, because we would do sessions and for 2 weeks we wouldn't talk, or 3 weeks we wouldn't talk. And then something would just come up, because now my starting to open, and I wouldn't know how to deal with it. And I learned with your support that I had to just allow it to pass through me, because if I wouldn't pass through me, it would come out in really different ways, which would not be manageable. It would come out through very weird ways, and I wouldn't want, and they wouldn't be authentic. They would morph into something else. So it was very hard. And for some reason after that, I started listening to a lot of my teenage music. And
interesting.
A lot of my old friends started connecting with me. And suddenly, as soon as my heart started to open, I would start having people out of nowhere wanting to talk, wanting to connect. I would walk on the street and there would be someone who just randomly asked my number. I'm sure it happens to every girl, but for me,
let's talk about you.
For me, it felt like I was feeling very attractive. I was feeling very happy, and so it was people just were liking to connect with me. Whereas earlier, they would probably like some part of me, but then I would sabotage it, and I would do something actively or subconsciously to kind of ward off that attention. But now it's okay. I love it.
Exactly. And I remember when I said to you, stop hiding your energy, your personality, your nature is not about hiding. It's about coming out and shining and showing the light, showing playfulness. Yes. So when you told me about that, I remember, of course I remember, yes, like that breakthrough also is like, yes, that girl is on fire. Yes. It's like from this song. I think it's a Beyonce, right? I think it's a girl.
You actually sent me that song and I danced on that song after that.
Of course you did. I danced too.
Yeah. And you remember how in some of our sessions, when we would uncover something, we would just stop and then we would start dancing.
Yes.
And then, I would feel like eating an ice cream after that. I would feel like doing something. It just uncovered like all the fun part in me. And it was so good. And I'm in touch with it. When I'm not in touch with it, I'm aware, and then I find my way back. So at least what it's like to be here. So once I know the route, I can always take that left turn, right turn, go straight, and then get here.
Yeah, because I always,
Sorry.
Yeah. Say, what do you want to say?
I was just saying that whereas earlier I didn't know, I wanted to feel that joy, but I didn't know the map of it. My Google navigation and that was not working. So.
Yes. And it must be authentic joy, because I always say that the work during the program is deep, it's challenging, as you mentioned that already. Yes, it's fully transformational and sometimes uncomfortable, but there is so much joy and happiness, and it's pure. It's pure with also pure love. And I know that I can be very honest and tough as well, but I also know that my intention is always full of love.
Yeah, I have to say, you're brutal.
Thank you.
Kind of a how do I say it, some kind of a pretense that you see, oh my God, you wear your boxing gloves on and smash it completely. So you're relentless as a coach, and of course, all of it with so much love, so much nurturing.
Because I know there is no real transformation, no real breakthrough if we pat ourselves all the time and listen and say whatever, bullshit we want to repeat ourselves over and over again. Yes, I've been there too. And if someone wouldn't tell me my blind spot, even these days I probably would be like still having, the biggest challenges and be when I was. I wanted something big, and my promise was also to giving women the big transformation. Yeah.
Yes, you made what you promised with me, really, because I guess you didn't even promise that. It was almost assumed. I already knew that something massive was going to happen. And even through the process where you helped me realize, you helped me see the things I didn't want to see. And sometimes with toughness and all the time with a lot of nurturing space, it was also very exhausting. It was like, oh my God, what do I do? It's just so much. And I never wanted to give up. And I just, because I'd already tasted it. I tasted what that joy is like through our sessions. I realized, oh my God, that's where I can go and be always. And I've only started to taste. I'm not going back to the old ways, because that's not, if that worked, I wouldn't be here.
Yes, exactly. And I always say, if it's going to work, we will do it to the end.
Yes. So, ready for my third one?
Awesome. So what is the third one? Yes, good. We are still on the track. Both very grounded and very present. I love it.
Thank you. So the third one was, and it kind of overlapped from the second one. It was my talent of self-sabotaging everything that came my way at some level. As soon as I felt like a very deep level of intimacy, I would just sabotage it. And I wasn't understand why I was doing that and why couldn't I stay. And my massive and the biggest transformation was that I chose to stay. I chose to stay in the situation and face it. It felt like shit. But it was only because I had to really realize something about myself. And the truth that came out, and I've really written it in bold letters, and I've put it in front of my bed. So when I wake up, I see all these realizations. I have some 23 realizations from our sessions, and I've put them all up because they were so precious to me in this whole journey. I don't want to forget them and go back in my old ways. And the truth was, you can dislike something about yourself, or something about someone else, but you can still love yourself and the other person.
Yes, that's the big one.
It was a big one, and it really again came from my father wound. Actually, both my parents in some way. But
I would say that both, because we are like, as a kids, very vulnerable. But I allow you to speak. Yes, first.
Yes. I would also, if you could remember that thought, because I would love to hear your interpretation of it as well.
Okay, we'll do.
Done. Thank you. I think for me, it came from when I was a kid, and it is just something so inconsequential when we think about it as grown-ups. But when I was a kid, something happened, and I remember that memory. I was criticized for something, and it felt so massive for me that I kind of told myself a lie that I'm not loved. And that lie I carried with me all these years. And so the complex pattern that it started weaving, or it snowballed into, was that if someone doesn't like something about me, that means they don't love me. And therefore, I should be like that with others as well. If I don't like something about them, I should walk away. And I am really the last person on earth who is anywhere close to perfection. So does that mean I should stop loving myself? And that's where I realized that no, really, love is not about appreciating qualities. Love is really about embracing my dark side as well, embracing my shadow side. And if I embrace my shadow side and I'm able to love myself, can I do that for others as well? And I don't need to pretend to like it. I can be authentic and say, hey, I don't like that you do this. And it, of course, doesn't change that I love you. But I would love it if, this can be something else. And earlier, I felt very guilty about, oh my God, that's the other person's right. They should know what to do, and they should change. But I am giving them the license to allow me to change as well. And so I feel like it's okay to tell them what I feel, because if I'm not going to be authentic, what value will they have of having me anyway?
Exactly. So well said. So well said. And also, it's I feel it's the deeper understanding, because let's like you already done the transformation, and for you it's so deep, but for someone who listening that, then it's at the beginning of the journey, yes, like have the taste of that or have the concept of that. It's actually that it's in a relationship or in love or both, it's not either white or black. It's not that things got difficult and challenging and we run away. It's easy, and lots of people these days choose that, especially ambitious, successful women. They said like literally fuck it, I'm worthy of something better, and then run away. But this is self-sabotage, because they come back and try with another person and repeat the same scenario instead of face the challenges. Sit with that, observe what's happening, where is that coming from, how they feel into that. The feeling is uncomfortable at the beginning, of course, but at least we have the reality check where I am, what is happening in my life, and why is this happening. Because if we start to see and that reality check, we can make changes. If we run away all the time, we ignore it. So we pretend it doesn't exist, but it does exist.
And the internet is so full of people saying all these relationship coaches and all that. Of course, I mean, I had been watching a lot of that before I came to you. And all
we
of
all
that
did.
And all of that is about stuff where, oh, he's not ready to commit to you, walk out, you're a high value woman, and all of that. And so I felt like, oh, if I'm going to stay, that means I won't be respected. And I allowed myself to be programmed like that through the YouTube University. And it was not true, because I think what I was not liking in the other person was caused by me. Sometimes the other person too, but sometimes me. And by walking away, I don't give myself a chance to have that experience also, not just the other person. And it allows me and doesn't allow me to be vulnerable. And so what started happening is I would never go on second dates, because of course, like out of the 10,000 things that I would like about that person, there will be one thing I won't like. And I'm also not perfect, but if I'm the one to walk out first, then I won't be rejected, right? So
yes. Exactly. And it's really to reject someone before someone rejects you.
Yeah, because I think we have that conditioning as teenagers. Oh, we broke up. Oh, who broke up first? Like, it doesn't matter. It's very childish to do that. But if you truly feel that that person has some value or it has some potential, I feel like in my situation, the person was not ready to commit because I was not ready to commit. And so what would it be? Who would I be if I walked away because I was not ready to commit, but blame it on the other? So I decided to stay and see if I want to commit too. And I shared it honestly, without anger, without ego, with love, because my feminine side, as women, it really comes very naturally to us, but we go away from nature because of our corporate jobs and the way we think success should be. And because of all that, I was very confused about how I should deal with this. And really, what truly feels good to me is to be authentic and to be vulnerable and to be okay with it. Because when I'm really that, I'm not afraid. I'm truly in the moment and I'm truly who I am. So I'm not afraid. There's no consequence, as that was another truth that got uncovered. If I'm living in my heart, there's no consequence. Everything I do is of value. Everything I do is great. And so why am I afraid? And when I was ready to commit, that's when I had that conversation and said, hey, I'm ready to commit. I'm here. Where are you? And then it was really the choice of the other person if they wanted to meet me halfway or not. But at least at that point, I had done my work.
You've done it for yourself.
Yes. And
to
so now,
liberate yourself.
absolutely. And, you know, I think in my journey, it wouldn't be fair to just say, oh, you know, out of this, I got a relationship. That was my outcome. No, I don't even think it's necessary to talk about it. But the truth is, what I got out of this entire program is someone I love truly and deeply, and that's that's me.
Yes,
And
it is.
it was not easy. We think it's easy to love someone. Try loving yourself. It's not easy.
Yes, and these days lots of people claim I love myself, and when I speak, especially with women, oh, I've done lots of self-work, self-care, and I'm still on this journey. And I ask them, so do you want to be single? Like, do you want to be in a situation that you are right now? And it's like, no, I want to be in a relationship. So when I say that there is something that must be unfold, there is something not true about you, then some of women, they get it, and some of them they get triggered and they pretend it's like, no, it must be something different. Or another reason is like, it's not up to me, so it's about someone else. And it's like, no, it's your responsibility, whether it's a relationship, whether it's any kind of relationship, romantic or, you know, friends, or work achievements, or any kind of, you know, things. It's always up to us. Always up to us. If we think it's about others, and we've done, okay, I've done this, but I can't, you know, do it with another person, this is just an excuse. Of course, maybe not with this specific person, but with million other people in this world, you can do that.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You can do that. And it's like, don't try to sabotage it, because this is not true. And interesting what you said, Samridhi, also, that these days when we have so much available things, like, you know, podcasts, everywhere we can listen other coaches and other teachers, that people get confused. And I'm not saying, you know, that other coaches are better, like worse or better than me, because it's not about that. But the concept of, you know, I'm better than something, I'm worthy and deserve more.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're in a crap situation, you need to change it. But it doesn't mean you are ignoring that and running away. You need to face it. And we need to face it through the shadow work, through the, you know, deep inner work, healing work, to face that challenges, to face that patterns. And at the end, we become equal with other people. Of course, we will jump, we will improve because we grow, and we will meet better quality people, better quality life. But whatever we are attracting at this moment, it's perfect. Like, we can't say that, oh, I'm better than that, I'm better than you, because this is, first of all, the heart is closed. The second of all, you are not vulnerable, but speaking from the ego part, right? And the second one, you are better than someone, which means that you are inferior and someone is superior. So you're already creating the dynamic with someone, the relationship, that it's not equal. And from this space, we can create healthy relationship, right?
Absolutely. In fact, this whole new era of calling women goddesses and queens, and it is truly what we need, in a sense that women are rising, and we need women to realize their power and know they are powerful. But I also want to say that this is because it's an overcorrection. The day we will be comfortable with saying women are queens and men are kings, that's when our society will truly be equal. But right now we need women to feel like they are more than what they are, because that's who they truly are inside, not what the world is telling them. Which is why we need women to believe they are queens, they're goddesses. until we get to that space where everyone is gods and goddesses. So
that's it. Yes, I agree with that. Not just the concept of how it's supposed to be, not the surface level, but fully embody that through feelings, as we spoke. Yes, and the whole program is also about embodiment. Yes, like you need to, because I can do only the part when I work with, like when I work with you or like with another women, the part of channeling and really showing you what is inside you. But if you're not going to take that responsibility and fully feel yourself and integrate that, then it's not going to happen. But happily, all the beautiful women, including you, working with me, they're so committed, and that's why I love this work. And I select specifically like those women who like saying, yes, I want that fulfillment, I want that soul connection, I want the depth, I want the authenticity, because I know this is the core of me.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Sam, for sharing your message. At the end, if you could just say, yes, like in few words, why would you invite someone to this program? I know we talk a lot, but as a summary, yes, to tell people like, you know, why you believe it's so good and beneficial for other women to join the program.
Wonderful question, and I've been dying to answer that. So
voila, go girl.
I really request that people, all the women who are on the edge and who feel like you're compromising with your life, you're compromising with your relationships, this is really my heartfelt message for you. If you truly want to become the person who can be loved in your ideal relationship, then this work is so important. And who better than Kinga? Because I can vouch for her in every step of the way and everywhere in between. She was always there. And you need someone who has gone through that journey, who understands you. And I know Kinga got me. When I told her, oh my God, Kinga, I'm in pain because I remember this. She didn't just say she understands. I know she got me because she has gone through and fought her own demons to really be where she is. And so that's my message. If you really want little more from your life and want to be that lovable person who can enjoy that love in her life, whether she's already in love or she wants to be in love, then really this is the program for you.
Thank you so much, lovely. That was so beautiful. I really deeply feel that. And I know because I created, this is my signature program that I created based on my own experience. Yes, that's right. And also skills that I gained. So I was very selective what processes must be taken, we must, you know, go through so it can really work. Yes, so you can become that woman that you always want to be and come back to your home, to your own love that is within yourself. That was my aim for myself. That was the biggest craving for me. So when I reflect back and say like, this is working, this is really working, and started to teach other women and see it's like it's working. It's very, you know, tailor-based, but the frame of the processes always bring back, you know, the same results.
Yes, I vouch for it, really. It has changed my life. And every time, even now I have a lump in my throat, I just feel so lucky that I chose to do this work on myself. And I took Kinga's help to do this because I needed it. And I wouldn't even realize the life that I could live. The average level of joy I could feel on a daily basis has changed so much. I was okay with little, but now I'm not okay with little anymore.
Exactly. We are, you know, we are here to do big things and experience big things and receive big things, right? The biggest ever.
And so much big love to you, Kinga. Thank you so much.
Big love to you too.
For all the women.
Thank you so much. Lovely, for such a beautiful conversation. My heart is full. I hope you're too.
Yes,
It was
yes.
lovely to reconnect with you. And yes, let's be in touch. Just like the last, question, if someone would like to connect with you, just to get, some personal, not information, but, like help, guidance, would that be okay? I know, like...
Absolutely love to. Yes. And women should be for women. And I would like so many women to be there for everybody. We're all there together. Yes.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I believe that sharing is caring.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Han, have a good evening. Yes.
Yes. Love you
And
so much.
talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.